Going to kick off the meeting at 7:02 p.m. Where the recorder, please document that Drew Harper and Stacy are here. We got Dave Snyder, Ed Woolman, Amy Taylor, Dave Baldwin, and myself all at the Legion. And then we got Ashley, Joanne, Holly, and you guys on that. So just wanted to document that. All right. Motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Ed, second by Baldwin. All in favor?
Aye.
All any opposed? All right. Secretary's report. I sent out the minutes from the meetings just on the 19th. Motion to approve the last two meeting minutes from those two meetings. Anybody have a chance to look through them besides myself?
I definitely.
Yeah, Baldwin.
I didn't get them.
Motion by Holly. Did you see him, Holly?
No, the email hasn't came in.
Oh, geez.
But I'll motion anyway. I trust you guys.
All right. Motion by Holly. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Ed. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? All right. Treasurer's report.
We have just a few transactions that occurred in the last few weeks. We received money from both Kroger Rewards and Amazon Smile, a total of about $80. We had some expenses for the swing, some expenses for the rendering work, and we received some money from merchandise sales at the Owl. And so at this point, we've got a little over $18,000 in the bank, but $15,500 of that is spoken for, and that leaves us a total of about $2,700. That's what I've got.
Also, that number is going to change. We just bought a generator.
Right, but the generator is entirely earmarked money, so it will still have $2,700.
I'll second.
Drew's good. Oh, you. Yeah.
No, fight it out.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Oh, cool. Motion carries. All right. Old business, project updates, committee reports, full and square. Snyder, back to you.
Okay, so the presentation to the city council got delayed by 3 weeks because they were dealing with the annual budget for the city, and they said, don't put it on that agenda. Everybody's going to be cranky by the end of that meeting. And you do not want to present that. And they were also saying their farewells to our city administrator as well. So, so we're rescheduled for June 14th. In the meantime, there's been some back and forth between our engineers and our landscape designer, and some revisions to the drainage system, because what the original plan called for was what the civil engineers had drawn up was a very expensive arrangement, and the landscape designer said it doesn't need to be like that. And so I think we've got a more cost-effective drainage system, and so that's progress. And we've also been also in the last couple of weeks, we got a whole bunch more renderings of Toland Square with some details corrected, like the correct looking lights in the square now. And we have it on rainy days, we have it on sunny days, we have it on a film noir, sort of black and white. So we've got renderings, lots of renderings. So when do you want to deal with so one of the things that I wanted to take care of tonight was authorizing the spending of up to $500 for printed collateral for going to meetings around the city and talking with people about this program. And if we could authorize up to $500, I don't have prices yet, but I think that $500 is a reasonable budget for that, and we'll stay within that or come back.
So you're asking for 500 right now as a max?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So let me understand this real quick, Dave. I just have a real quick question. So you're talking about $500 just for printed materials, like, so the vision that you're seeing is what you're trying to put down on paper so that you can do presentations for the rest of the city. Is that what you're asking money for?
Like when we go to Sons of the American Legion or to a local business or to the Rotary, something that, so that they can envision what it is that we're talking about.
Okay.
Yep. It'll also be handy, and we man a booth on a third Thursday or something like that.
Are we going to be doing something in it on the digital realm of that as well as something physically that we can hand them? Okay.
And our fundraising committee is working on putting together exactly how this all works. But at this point, it's looking like our campaign might run 60 days starting mid-July, something like that. So July 15th to September 15th, perhaps.
Okay.
We have to get to the start line, and that's the subject of our next fundraising meeting.
Okay.
So is there maybe a motion on that?
Do you want me to put the motion in front of everybody? All right.
I'll motion for it if nobody's motioned
Yep.
yet.
Yep, that's fine. I'll let you go for it, Paulson.
Okay, a motion not to exceed $500 for printed material.
Can I
Second.
second by Ed? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Wait. Okay, motion carries.
Do we have a next meeting set up for that?
Let's get to that right now. Meeting.
Yes, I would like to schedule that. Those 5 people on the fundraising committee, what works for you? You want to do like a week from tonight? Wednesday night?
I'll be heading out of town.
Okay.
Tuesday evening will work for me. Is that possible?
Tuesday, the
8th.
8th? I didn't bring my calendar, but I think that's fine.
How
I
does Tuesday-
see.
Work for you, Holly?
What time?
Let's go for 7 p.m.
Okay?
I'm
Seven?
booked up. I can do earlier, but that's good.
You want to do 6 p.m.?
I can probably do 6. I can meet for about a half hour.
6 p.m.
6. Where do you want to meet?
Meet at the Owl?
Yeah.
Okay,
Totally.
Tuesday, 6 at the Owl.
Who's the other person on the committee?
Was that
You said 5 people?
1, 2, 3, Holly?
With the head?
Yeah. I knew that they were all 5 here.
You said that earlier too, and I was like trying to nail down who it was. So make sure you tell him 6 when he comes back in,
Thank you.
because I think the last thing you were
What's next? Josh?
recycle days.
Yep, recycle days, with the budget getting passed, they have an expenditure up to 20K they can do every year, but the city wants to do it every other year, so the motion did pass, so we can do recycle days. I did email Tillery today, so I'm trying to start the conversation going for possible dates for this year. It's gonna definitely be after July 1st, so that's all I got. So,
Question.
Why Tillery?
because Tillery is the new city administrator.
Oh, the acting
Yeah,
administrator.
So Are you saying that they want to do it every other year, but
Yeah.
this would be the year?
This would be the year since 2020 was
Because we
our,
didn't do it last year.
Yeah.
because of COVID.
yeah, but they have the funding to do it every year.
A long time to go between recycle days.
Yeah,
That's what we did last year.
Only because of COVID. We tried to do it last year.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah,
It was 2 years ago that I did.
yeah. So that's all I got for that.
Okay.
I'll quickly plug, we have 8 days left on our SLI t-shirt shop, so please buy.
I did.
So, we need more to get the order done, so please, if you can, tell your friends, buy more shirts.
How many shirts do we need?
I have no idea, I'm not sure.
I ordered 2.
I ordered 2.
I ordered 2. So, have our friends buy, so let everybody know to support us, so trying to do a press on that as well. Swing committee update. Anything on the swing committee, guys? Or do we want to do a subcommittee next week as well to discuss or delay?
We need to discuss what the next steps are.
We probably should
Yeah.
figure that out. Yeah.
So, just an update on the swing over there. I did finish burning the quote last night.
Okay.
So I gotta burn the logos and, then just install.
Okay.
So I'll trim them out, put some nice
Yeah.
edging around it with a router, make them look all nice.
I would like to come take photos when you put it up.
Okay, because I want to have Dominic there.
I think Jillian and Chris, well, I don't know about Chris if he'll be able to make it, but I'm sure Jillian would like to go back and we
Yeah, I'd
probably
love
should
that.
Photos?
take a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I don't want to be on the swing committee, but if you're talking about hiring it out, invite me to the next one so I can communicate with at least that option.
Do we have a number on, I know Dominic texted me the night of the posting. Do we have a final number on how many people want to do another one?
So we haven't put it out there yet. We have a form created, we just haven't.
Because he
Right?
told
You've got 5 or
me,
6 people who are
he told me
interested.
there were at least like 6 or 7.
There's probably more.
Yeah.
Okay,
Do we need to raise the cost on the swing?
yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
Especially the cost of lumber going up, like all this.
Sweck had an idea
So it was,
in our thread.
it was like 1,200 for the, or was it more?
It's gonna be like 15.
It was, yeah.
Okay. Because, yeah,
Yeah, we gotta have buffer room just in case like something goes wrong.
Yeah.
We gotta, can't lose money on these deals, especially we're gonna do like 10 of them. Who knows?
yeah, a lot of people were hitting me up during the merch sale too, so.
Good.
So the feedback's good, so. It's just now trying to figure out what we want to do as a group and just move forward.
I really
That's
think,
what-
I also just want to jump in, interject real quick, because I think that once people realize that it's a Moving Milan Forward project and that more of them are popping up, I think that the likelihood of us selling more and being able to kind of improve what we've already got going on is good. The likelihood is good that we'll sell more, because like Josh is talking, we were approached by a couple different people during the merch at the Owl, and really good positive feedback. So I would anticipate if we put up more throughout town, that we'll get more recognition and more people will be interested in doing that. I do believe, however, if I'm not wrong about this, I do believe though that we only received location for 5. So in the event that we exceed that 5, clearly we'll have to go back to Parks and Rec and get kind of update.
Right. And I totally agree with that.
Dave just left the room, but do we know for sure if Parks and Rec wants us to continue with it? Or are they going to continue with it?
So that's a really good question, Amy, because I know that part of the reason why I was really excited about chairing it, I mean, I chaired it by name only because really Dave did all the work, but part of the reason why I was more than willing to really get involved with that is because Parks and Rec was going to, in fact, go ahead and take it over. I don't know that we've ever gotten a definitive answer as far as when they are going to be doing that. If we just did the first one and that, because when I looked at the post on the Facebook page, it definitely looked to me like, okay, moving Milan forward did the first one, and now if you're interested in getting more, that you should contact Parks and Rec directly. So the way that it appeared to me, at least on Facebook, which I could be very confused, it's possible, that they were going to take it thereafter, after the first one. But I don't know, Dave, you're probably going to be able to answer that a lot better than Amy's going to probably have to ask the question.
Yeah, I won't know until our next meeting, which is gonna be the 7th.
7th
One of
of
the
June. Okay.
things I'd suggest is that put a cap on it, at least for this year. Say that the number is 6 or whatever, but put a cap on it for this year. So, because you don't want to have so many around the town that,
I just think you do one at a time.
yeah,
You stack them up, you pick the order, and this is the one that we're gonna do. And then if we get to it, we get to it. If not, we're not promising anything to anyone.
Yeah.
We're saying, we'll select one, yours is the chair that we're gonna build now.
Well, it was a lot more labor intensive too than was originally expected. So, I mean, it was, the actual swing itself was fairly easy. The pre-made swing, right? I mean, it was just the arms and whatnot, but the rest of it was a lot more labor
the
intensive.
posts and the cements and
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
And the refurbishing of the chains and then cutting a chain and making sure, and then getting the grinder down in there once it was already put together. Yeah, it was a lot.
It gave us a very good idea what to anticipate in the future. We will know automatically that we're going to be upgrading to a better chain. These kinds of things were absolutely necessary in order for the first one to be successful. And I do feel like it looks fantastic. It's certainly sturdy. It's getting a lot of recognition through town. The mayor seems quite happy with it. So I think it's an absolute success. I applaud everybody that got involved in it. And also I thank you very much for your hard work, especially, the guys. Amy and I cheerlead it a lot, but we're good at that. So.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
We clapped, we cheered,
Moral support.
we cracked jokes,
Did. Entertained. Yeah.
did all the oohs and ahs.
And I agree with Dave. I think that if people are interested in that, they should be able to contact whomever, either Parks and Rec or Moving Milan Forward, just to get their name kind of on a list, potential list, if you will. And then they can kind of take it from there, and we can figure out what Parks and Recs wants to do from this point on. If they have I don't know what they have. Do they have builders that they are going to have that it's going to do I don't know how prepared they are to take the project on. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not able to take it on right now, but we'll figure it out going forward.
Okay.
I'll talk.
Subcommittee, if we want to set a meeting to talk after, let's try to do that and take it offline.
Let's just talk after the meeting.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Yep.
Who are we missing today from that subcommittee?
Chris and Jillian.
Jillian's right here.
Yeah.
Jillian, do you mind staying on the Zoom call after this meeting?
Not at all. That's great. I will.
Okay, perfect. All right, sweet. Merch sale, we did 2 days when they gave a hoot, and I know we're still waiting for the percentages to come back. We did make 25 the first day and then 60 the following day. So people were buying our gaiters and t-shirts. So we'll do it again in August. I'll work with Ryan on that. So,
Nice.
so
Thank you for doing that.
thank you to Stacy, Joanne, Michelle. Thank you guys for being there too. So appreciate all the support. So
I was there too, Josh.
Yes,
I know
she
you forgot,
was.
but
Yes,
I
she
was there
was.
too.
I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad. All right, yeah, that's all I got for that one. Community bike bumps, we got the locations for Simon's and Paddock. I'm waiting for Jordan. We'll get the logos on and then we'll do the install hopefully in June. That's my kind of goal for that one. Any update for Gump Lake yet?
Just that we're working through the grant process to purchase a pump to aerate the lake. It sounds like Parks and Rec has funding to test the water.
Oh, good.
Within their own kind of like budget.
Gunplay.
Government.
Okay.
So there's still an outstanding thing of how do we pay for the bacteria to throw in the like little cubes or whatever it is. We don't know the next steps on that, but you know, everything's in process.
Yep. And then no whiskey tasting then, if we're gonna do the Stolen Square fundraising in July, or are we gonna delay that till the fall?
Nothing I'm doing right now.
Okay. All right. Smash Room, Dave and I were talking about this. We did get a quote for it to do a smash, you smash a car, fundraise money, kind of take out the stresses of 2020 and hit something. I did approach Milan Main Street and Chamber of Commerce. They were not digging it, so this can definitely be our program. I did get a quote for about $3,000 for it. I was hoping if there would be some discussion on that tonight, if anybody's interested in starting a subcommittee with me on that. Yeah,
So I thought we talked about this being a car.
yeah,
Is that right?
yeah.
Who's
So a car is
donating the
gonna
car?
cost us $3,000.
Can't get somebody to donate an old,
It's a mobile, I found a mobile group online.
Do they have insurance that they're giving us?
I can talk with the guy.
I don't know what the reason is to use them. We can go to Victory and be like, hey, give us a shit car.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure there's somebody in town that has just a rough car.
true.
Yeah, even
And then-
they gotta tow it there.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. We could tow it out too. Put it on.
where is the smashing gonna happen? Or you don't know yet?
Don't know yet. That's why I was kind of kicking it up to a subcommittee and just have us discuss.
Josh, Holly's waving her hand there, sweetie. Holly was waving.
Oh, I was waving to the kids.
Oh, for Pete's sake. That's okay. I want to add something real quick,
I
Josh.
do have a question too, though, when you're done.
Oh, okay, well, okay, let me just do this real quick. Josh, I want to talk with you kind of privately about this, but I think that, because I don't know what you know about this, and pardon my missing meetings here, because this has probably been answered, but if it's a matter, if I don't know about the insurance aspect of it, the liability stuff, but we'll look into that. But because my Michigan brother owns the towing company and has a bunch of cars out there. I wonder if we can somehow, maybe Drew talk to Harper anyway, a little bit about insurance, maybe getting coverage if we get that car, and kind of let's look at pricing and costs and stuff like that. Is that an option? Are you open to that, or kind of fill me in?
Yeah, no, this was kind of just a kind of fun generator project, because this is something that Bowen and Dave and I both agreed and kind of threw it on the new business. So this is, yeah, like I said, we can table it and go to a subcommittee after, and I can talk with you offline.
I'll be on your committee, Josh. And Dave.
I'll be there too.
I'll do that. That's a fun thing, man.
I'll be on the committee as well.
I know about 10 people who smash the hell out of that car.
I'd like to smash. I'd smash something.
You know, also afterwards, not just smashing the car.
Yeah,
We should throw like watermelons, muskmelons and stuff at it. That's a blast too. Get some eggs out, have a blast.
Oh, I'm excellent
I
at
heard,
throwing eggs in cars. Not now in Milan, but
I heard about an experiment, putting rubber bands around the watermelon and
Yes.
figuring out how many water.
I've seen this
how
on
rubber
YouTube.
bands
Uh-huh.
would explode the watermelon.
Yeah.
I guess that's why.
I'm not trying to do that. That sounds like too many water. Too
I mean, it was
many.
hundreds, but
No thanks.
I would like to take just a moment and talk about this concept though, because I think that the hesitation of Main Street and the chamber is that they, like us, or organizations that try to build rather than destroy. And I think that their sense is that they just don't want their name attached with something like that. And yes, maybe this can be fun, but I think we have to understand that there are other ways to look at it too.
Yeah, I think it's also how you market the whole thing. This could be like a mental health break. You know, this could be something that's like, hey, sometimes getting your aggression out is a great opportunity to just release some stress too. And I think it's all how you wrap it up. You know, we're not destroying a car, we're relieving stress. We're getting together to come together to defeat the 2021 pain in the ass year or whatever, you know, like
You're gonna write it on
it's
the
a
car.
win for,
Got an idea. Before we smash that car, why don't we get somebody to paint the coronavirus in the car? Okay,
so it's an accomplishment.
Also good
of,
music
you know.
effect there.
You can also paint Donald on one side and Joe on the other. I'm not suggesting that.
Anyway, subcommittee. We need to vote for that.
Yeah, motion.
One thing,
Yeah.
the other thing that I was at a station for those two organizations is that they didn't want to put $3,000 at risk for raising what? How much do you think you can raise with a $3,000 car?
Well, my question too was, what does that $3,000 include? What is that for the liability insurance or the car?
Got a general quote from one group and I
No.
think.
I think we locally house it,
Yeah.
pick up our own insurance. Yeah. We pay little to nothing because we're gonna return this car in an unusable state, and they're gonna smash it. Yeah. It's like, if we spend more than $1,000 on this event, we are.
Okay.
I think you can get a car donated.
Yeah.
And then I think that part of the process that this committee does is thinks about all the ways that you can raise money off of that car, because it's not all just taking a sledge to it.
Oh, man. Well, the fire department does
you can-
extraction drills
the
and
great
stuff on cars
outdoors.
all the time.
We can set it on fire.
Hold on.
End of the day,
I don't know if we should set it on
We can
fire
have the fire department
without
there.
the fire department
We can-
there. Yeah, we need their involvement on that
And you
part,
get to,
but-
you spend $200 and you get to light the trail of gasoline to go.
Let's shoot a bazooka at it too.
$1,000, you're probably gonna get $400 or $500 for not scrapping the car automatically.
Yeah, but we could also discuss, I mean, I can find out from the fire department where they even get their vehicles too. I mean, if we do run into a roadblock on getting one donated, because they do get cars donated for extraction drills.
My neighbor has a car. It's been sitting there since we moved in.
Ooh.
Let's steal it.
All right, we're getting the weeds.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
All right, committee
Committee
talk,
go to work.
committee talk.
Motion to start a subcommittee for the SMASH liaison.
I'll motion for that.
SMASH group.
Josh being the chair.
Support.
Support. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm abstaining.
Dave Snyder abstains. Motion's
You
okay.
might like it, Dave. You might hit that car and be like, yes.
Yeah, that's exactly how I'll feel, I'm sure.
Smash a taillight, key it. You might like it.
All right.
It's all done.
Yep, final business for old business, our grant, subcommittee, we talked about doing a community fix-it station, Gump Lake, doing a rider with, the Legion as a partnership for the winter lighting, Toll Square, tree planting, and then an event trailer, grant, so what do we want to do for the GMACF grant, guys? Or do we just want to leave it as is?
Are we focusing in on one of those 6 choices?
Well, I'd say Toll Square is probably gonna be the biggest one, probably the biggest ask. The winter lighting, that's probably more of a partnership, so focus on that one as well.
Because community bike fix-it station, I mean, we
We,
already got the grant for the bike, for the pump, but they haven't been done yet, so.
well, that was what the GMACF said no to us last year for that.
Oh,
So we
So
probably,
this would be something new.
yeah, something new. And this,
Why don't you take something like the lighting here
yeah,
and offer to submit a grant on behalf of the Legion
yeah, and that's.
and be there.
But also,
Partner.
we were talking earlier
Yeah.
about going to the fire department.
Yeah.
Same with them. Maybe the library, same with them.
Yeah, the library wanted to be, Dave, I don't know if you remember, it was like last year. They definitely wanted to be involved in that, having lighting added too, if that's something.
Yeah.
Does anybody go to the fire board meeting? Because I thought there were murmurs of a new fire station again at some point. Is that not
Members of a new.
murmurs of
Oh,
a
yeah.
new fire
Sure.
station
Yeah,
again? Okay. I just want to put it out there that maybe we don't put lights on that building if they are indeed going to.
Well, regardless, it's gonna be something, right?
That
Even if we're
building?
gonna put lights on a library, like,
That's still gonna be.
no disrespect, by the way, no disrespect, but like, if we're gonna put lights on a library,
Yeah.
maybe that turns into a restaurant, maybe that turns into a Parks and Rec building, maybe it turns into something else, doesn't matter. It's the ambiance of the entire town.
So, yeah, the Legion's already on board, so I just need them to just make sure they cut a letter of support for us, and then we still submit that grant for them for that. And then we get library and fire and the firehouse on board, and then we're
If they're
good.
interested, yeah.
Yeah, so, it's just, our figuring our asking prices, just, we gotta figure that out, and what the SPMAC is.
And we know square footage price.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna interject, let me interject real quick, guys. I just wanna, I don't know who the best person would be for this. I really don't know. We're gonna have to kind of look at this. But I know that when I was talking about this before when it came to the fire department, the current fire department anyway, Carrie Ritchie had approached me and kind of privately had said, we've been doing the firehouse for years under our own dime, and Marty's been taking care of this, and I don't know why this is all of a sudden being brought up. And it was being brought up by firemen that were approaching me when we first did our lights. So that's how it first got brought up, was different firemen that had the idea, that brought it to me, and then I brought it to Moving Milan Forward. We didn't want, it's not our intention to hurt anybody's feelings or to take something away from anybody. Amy's right. There is talk about another firehouse being built closer to 23. That's probably not projected for at least 5 years, I would imagine. But these are questions that need to be, they need to be addressed. So I don't know who is the closest person to the fire department. I mean, I always say that I am, but I'm really not. Maybe Amy would be a good liaison. You seem to know people better than I do over there anyway.
I could talk to Marty about it.
Okay.
Off the record.
It is an expensive project though. I mean, for the downtown buildings that we did, we spent $11,000 doing that. And so these buildings, we're probably talking about, between these three buildings, we're probably talking about $4,000 or $5,000.
Yeah.
And
I mean, all we're talking about is submitting an application. That's it, right? And if GMACF says no, it's a bad idea, it's fine. Okay. We'll just be in a conduit.
Okay. So what's the tree planting?
Holly, I know we're gonna have you try to grant write, and I was wondering how we wanted to do the street planting. Because I know I had a rough idea, but probably not.
We were going to explore the idea of like an arbor something, right?
Like a tree city kind of, I feel like, something like that.
Location?
That's what, yeah. I think it's good in concept right now, but we might have to straighten it out a little bit more before we write it.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then what's event trailer?
just to upgrade the event trailer more.
Upgrade how?
We were getting complaints about it being half storage and not full entertainment trailer.
So upgrade it, build cabinets in it, or just some sort of,
Maybe.
okay.
I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think Main Street's gonna be happy with capital.
Yeah,
They want everything else.
yeah.
So what we're gonna do in the short term is I have a small, little 8x10 trailer, we'll just throw things in there. think this is for extra lights,
Yeah,
extra,
because we can get some stage lighting in there and have Ring Bloom light us up and,
So this is for electrical work
yeah.
for the event trailer.
probably more like product instead of work,
Okay,
because Ringboom's already said he's willing to donate his time.
purchasing of the product through GMACF.
Yes.
Okay. So did you want us to agree to all 6 of these? Is that what you're asking?
I was just trying to get a general discussion and then hopefully we can get approval on them tonight. So yeah, that was the,
So you want to write grant to GMACF on all 6 of these projects?
yes,
Toll Square obviously was the
big
the
ass,
older business
big ass.
topic that we already know.
And just to be clear, Gump Lake is not gonna be,
Okay, yeah.
Gump Lake's not, because that's a parks grant.
So probably 5.
Okay,
Yeah,
Probably 5,
okay.
if we decide to go.
yeah. And that's on membership
So-
opinion.
My question is it better to narrow it down to 3 out of 6, 4 out of 6? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I
Or
know-
is it just right for everything and then they'll tell us yes or no? What they
Depends on
want
who you
to do.
ask. Yes, Dave, he's like, we should bring it down to like 4. Yes, Ed, he's gonna say.
What is that gonna say?
Narrow
Ed
it down.
says 5.
That's gonna say narrow it down. Okay.
And maybe in the risk taker, rate 5, so we can get some more grant writers in our
Also,
system.
let's talk about what projects we want to do.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just because we can do these doesn't mean we should.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, all right, I'll tell you, what I've heard so far is I really haven't heard a solid concept with the exception of Toland Square. Just a bunch of stuff, and that bunch of stuff is gonna be reflected in the quality of the grant. And understand, there's gonna be more applicants this year, because I just sent out 25 invitations to organizations that have never applied to okay? So the competition is gonna be more, which means the grant application should be of a higher quality.
More specific. Yeah.
And GMACF is not gonna be funding 85, 90% of the applicants.
Yeah.
Nor should they.
Yep.
So what I'm saying is I would be more selective than 5.
I had a feeling that's what you were gonna say.
It just is, because in real life, foundations fund maybe 20, 25% of the applicants.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. Well, and I think the assumption too is if you have so many projects going that you're not able to dedicate all your energy to one
Yeah.
thing
It-
too.
What it says to me is lack of focus.
Right.
I mean, I think what it says to me is that we've been capped at that, $4,000 max on some of the things. And we feel like we're stuck in that gutter of good, right? Of like, come up with a project that's in that 4,000 range. and under,
Exactly,
Right?
yeah.
And when Dave brings this Toland Square project, right, now we go, that's vision. That's something really substantial. But in the past, we've always been like, you get,
Yeah.
shouldn't do that.
Yeah, what can we toss in for $3,000?
But
Yeah.
in my opinion, we're starting to run out of $3,000 projects.
Well, because Gump Lake was also a big project that we talked about needed to be phased out too, that we could be looking at a 5-year thing here versus, a 5-month.
Let's talk about those projects individually and the pros and cons of each of them. And I'd like to just start by talking about the lighting project. Having put that together, I am unenthusiastic about getting involved in doing more of that. I'd be happy to provide counsel to firemen or library folks or Legion folks who want to do that. But I think that expanding that area is it's probably something that they should be prepared to take on largely on their own, rather than us seeking funding from the foundation for that work and us taking responsibility.
Because you know
for
how
it.
exhausting that was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we still have maintenance work every year that needs to go on those. So
right.
so expanding that just is like, really?
And, you know, Dave brings up a good point. If we don't have somebody, A, to write the grants for these projects, B, to run it, then we shouldn't be doing it.
Well, you know how you felt after you finished the first swing.
Yeah.
You were kind of exhausted of it, and it was just fun, you know, because you were like, wow, this was a lot more than we thought, you know? Yeah,
And I'm still doing work
right.
to this day.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
So I'm going to interject again, guys, sorry. But I agree with my BFF over there. I think that, hi. I do miss you, by the way. Anyway, mwah. But I do agree with him. I mean, that was a colossal job that was it just kept going and going and going and going and going. And it continues to go because there's maintenance that has to be done all the time with the bulbs that are out and different fixtures that need to be replaced, things like this. So we did learn so much through that, and it was just a lot of work. The only thing that I'm concerned about, I agree with you as far as allowing whomever to do whatever they want to, is the consistency of the look throughout town. So that if somebody does decide that they want to put up, the other thing is that I was talking to some of the firemen about them having, as opposed to clear lights, putting just red lights around their building, because that might be, significantly understood to be a fire department thing, I don't know. But as far as like the library or town hall or whatever you want, whatever business even, there has to be some sort of consistency with what we've already placed, if it's going to be in the general vicinity of the downtown area. That's my only concern. I think that you're 100% right, Dave. I agree with you that project was in fact a really big project, and I want to be able to, either we're going to be in it or we're not, and we don't like to half-ass anything. We're not known for half-assing things. We're not going to start doing that now. So I think that we really need to be very thorough in our thought and understanding what we're climbing into. That's all I've got to say about that.
So I think this is how we create the criteria. Who is interested in filling out the grant application and completing the project for the bike fixing station? So,
Gosh.
okay. We're not doing Gunflake. Who is interested in filling out the GMACF grant application and completing the project for the winter light around Legion, fire department, and library? Okay, that was not happening. Toland Square, same question. Dave? Yeah. Tree planting,
Me?
Alex. All right, tree planting happens. Well, we have event trailer. Okay, so we have 3 applications right now. Does that make sense for everyone?
Thank you for doing that. Because at the end of the day, somebody's got to do the work.
Yep. And now you're all on tape saying you're gonna do it. So, I mean.
And if you,
And by the way, Dave Baldwin is filling out it.
Hey, come on there. Delegation
and it's okay
works
to change your
again.
mind too, if it does become too much and you have too much on your
Yeah,
plate, Holly and Josh.
We're all set
If
up.
we only submit
Agreed.
Toland, I'm fine with that myself, just speaking as a member of the group. So I just want to put that out there.
And we should put as many eyes on these applications as possible. So send them around. Let's update it. Let's have discussions about that. Yep.
I was gonna say, Holly, I'm willing to help you out. I've never written a grant before, but I'm willing to help you with the tree planting thing if you'd like.
Okay, that'd be great. I've never written a grant either. So,
Okay, good. Yeah, maybe we can get together and figure that out.
yeah. When is this due by?
July 31st.
End of July.
Yep. So 2 months pretty much from yesterday.
Okay.
I have a friend, Holly, that writes grants professionally too. So I'm gonna actually get a hold of him after the meeting and get some tips from him, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Go to the GMACF site, look at the application form that's there. One of the things that I find about filling out grants is that the best thing to do is to create that form offline and then transfer the information into the form online and submit.
Good advice.
Agreed.
Thank you, Ashley, for doing that.
So are we good with those three projects?
Do we need a formal motion on that or we good?
I don't think that's very cool.
Moving on to new business finally, block parties. I wanted to give people the thoughts and restart of the block parties. I know we need a block party chair as well. So there is a job opening there.
So I talked to Amy last week, and it's Amy's birthday today. I believe.
Wow.
Or yesterday. Yeah, my days are being
Right.
so.
Happy birthday, Amy, if you listen to this or watch this.
So, and she's still interested in helping out. Things have been pretty crazy for her business, so, yeah.
How do you all feel about having, instead of having one person per se in charge of running all the block parties? It seems like we may not, I mean, if we have difficulty finding someone that has the capability and the willingness to do that, how do you all feel about individually chairing particular, like Ed Woolman, when he had his block party over there, he did one hell of a job putting that together, organizing it, and a really great success. And that was Ed doing Ed. So I don't know, how do you all feel about that?
I think it's gotta fall on somebody's shoulders in the end.
So you
Somebody
would
has-
think that we just, so, but I mean, it's fine if that's what you decide that, but we just have to find somebody that's capable and willing to take a, are we still how many are we striving for this year? 4 more? 4?
I was just bringing it up just to get the feelers in the room, just to see if anybody wants to do it this year, or do we wait another year?
I would be interested in working with somebody, because it's a big job.
It is a big job.
I do think that when Amy took over as chair of the block parties, it got more streamlined.
Okay.
And each one was consistent with the one, with every single one that she did. So I think that track record might support one person doing it.
Yeah. Well, also, there's a lot of effort that goes into this for all block parties. For instance, she's got to have a meeting with all the block party coordinators. She's got to put the form out on Facebook. She's got to decide who wins and who loses.
Yeah.
There's a big process. And if we do hire a caterer, how do we, find the right caterer to bring all this stuff in? And it's best to have one person in charge of that event trailer as well, coordinate the whole, there's a lot that one person can do.
Would it make sense to sort of ease back into this and say that if we can find 2 neighborhoods that want to do it, we'll do 2 block parties this year and ask Amy to work with Edward to manage those 2 block parties, and if you can draw a 3rd person in, then you've got somebody else who's being trained as well. Does that make sense then?
I'm sorry?
Stacy's want to help you.
Okay, we're gonna make you chief. You've just been promoted. Amy, right?
Stacy.
Stacy. All right. Okay, so let's do this. Here's my number.
I have it.
You're ahead
Oh,
of me.
she's already got it.
That's right. So how's your assignment coming?
Slowly. I gotta get me to the fair first, after the fair.
Okay.
I made notes, don't worry. Yeah.
You know why I do that? You probably
Because
know.
you're a good teacher.
No, because it lets me know who's a doer and who's a talker.
No, we're a doer, trust me.
I believe you.
Okay,
We'll get it done.
so block parties,
Okay.
Perfect.
Are
So
wrapped
Stacy-
up.
Stacy and Ed
so
are
you're gonna focus on doing two.
So
And
those
getting it-
three, and is it 2 block parties? Or are we leaving it to the three of them to
To
discuss and
decide.
come back with a
Yeah.
program?
I'll follow up with you guys in 2 weeks. Sounds good.
I'm, okay.
We're kind of running out
I'm
of time
thinking
here.
2 block parties for a whole lot of reasons. One is we're just slowly coming out of the
You
COVID
could even do one.
Yeah.
and, well, okay, we'll talk. Okay.
Yeah,
I have some concerns about going big right away.
yeah,
I think it's
Yep.
gonna take 2 years.
Yep.
To get back, what was our max, 4?
We did 4 usually, 4 to 5. We did
we
5,
did 5.
5 one year and 4 usually the other.
Well, one of them
One
was
was
the eighth,
commercial.
one
Yeah,
was the eighth one.
Yeah.
4 residential and the eighth was the biggest year.
Okay,
That was 2019 at least.
all right, well,
Wow.
Is
Yeah.
Amy planning on returning to?
So I just sent her a text, so we'll
Okay.
find out.
no, I'll call her. They're gonna be over at our house anyhow. They could be doing our sewer. Now, if they want their $12,000, she's gonna have to play ball.
Whoa.
No, if you want your sewer done right,
And
you're gonna play ball.
And recording, and recording.
Now,
So I'll find out.
yeah, what I'm hoping for is that Amy, that we can spend some time with Amy. She can walk us through, the process.
I mean, she started a playbook, and you started a playbook too.
I started a playbook on that too, yeah.
There's a lot of work done.
Everything you want is in there. Now
Alright.
it's my chance to put it into play.
Relay team.
Relay, so if anybody wants to start a relay, I might be too busy. So if we want to do a relay team this year, just throwing it out there for new business, if anybody's interested,
This is the relay for life.
yeah, as a team, just as a team concept. I mean, we're already helping them out with, when they want to use the blow up
Okay.
screen.
While we're on this subject, here's what I was thinking long-term, okay? I think the idea of the Moving Milan, Greater Milan Area Community Foundation partially funding block parties is a slam dunk. Because it's huge, it has huge outreach.
Yeah, but they've already said that they will continually fund a project. Okay.
I'm thinking one time around. Well, it depends. Every block party is a new one. Concept is the same. Anyhow,
That sounds like a bigger conversation with them though, for you.
I can't have that because I can't write the grant application.
Yeah, you could take a temperature though, right?
I can work with somebody to write the grant application.
Yeah.
I
Well,
know- I
talk to
know that-
Amy and see if she wants to
I
come
know
back.
that some organizations talk to Rachel
Yeah,
and say, these are the 5 things that we're considering. Which ones do you think that the foundation is more likely to support? And we write a grant for 2 instead of these 2. It's these 2 because they're most likely to fly.
all right, I'll tell you what I'll do. I've already done this once. The Knights of Columbus, you guys put in that, okay? I'll write up a concept paper. I'm doing this with your permission. Write up a concept paper, I'll send it to Rachel, I'll send it to Todd Schultz, who's the head of the grant committee, and say, Moving Milan Forward is considering, okay, the block parties. The block parties have a ton of potential getting out in the community. Do you think foundation might partially sponsor it or write a grant, okay? And I'll tell them what for, food. No, not the food, but the entertainment and the caterer. Sure. Right?
Porta
Because I'm-
potties. Porta potties. Yep, all that.
I'm assuming 2 years ago, we paid for the food, right? And folks brought the grills and stuff. So the only thing I'm thinking of doing is the amenities, right? Because I'm thinking a caterer and I'm thinking like a DJ.
And porta potties.
Thank you. And porta potty, yeah.
Well, thank you. Who's that? Is that Jillian?
Yeah, so that, my thought was, we absolutely have to do the porta potty, because as it becomes more popular, we really don't want to encourage people to have to use their own homes. I really don't think that's a benefit. I think that we really, if we're gonna do it, we really need to do it the right way. And I think that went really well. The other thing I want to say real quick, Ed, is that, you know, we have a history of successful block parties in our, as Moving Milan Forward as an organization. So that they already know, we know what we're doing when it comes to that. I'm sure Aileen would be willing to be an advisor for that. She seems like she would be more than willing to be available for questions and bounce stuff off of. So I think that that's an awesome idea. I also think that I like the idea of having one person being in charge of it. I'm just concerned about who we might be able to get that would be willing to do that. I would be willing to be a part of the subcommittee, only because I'm not sure what my future holds at this point. So I don't want to overcommit. And so I would be willing to do subcommittee work by all means when it comes to that.
Okay, thank you. Now we start with Amy.
So back to the relay team.
Anybody want to chair it, or do we just want to just handle our? And they're going virtual.
I know Tristan, Milan, who heads the whole thing, that worked with her for a basketball game in Milan a few years ago. And I mean, I just was curious what was going on with it, because last time I talked to her about it, she just didn't sound like they knew exactly what was going on.
They have a date. It's in August.
It's virtual again this year.
It's late August again, and it's
Oh,
gonna
it
be all
is?
virtual. They're
Okay.
borrowing
Okay.
blow-ups to do their luminaries, to broadcast the luminaries.
They're still deciding on that for the.
Yeah,
I think they have the date here, the 22nd and the 21st. Is that correct?
of August.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
What would, guys, what
Speaking
were
for
you,
myself, I'm not. Go ahead, Ashley.
no, I was just wondering, so what would that entail? Like, you're looking for someone to start a relay group for Moving Milan Forward?
Yes, I was just.
I'm sorry.
I took it on last year, but there was low turnout. I was just trying to get feelers with the group today, so, because I was at the three-way meeting yesterday. So, yeah.
So last year, Ashley, I believe what they did is everybody walked at their own home, or whoever they were comfortable with their own team. They just walked in their own neighborhood, or some people walked on a treadmill, or whatever, whatever they could do to continually have somebody walking for the full 24 hours, instead of it being at the park, obviously, where they have the track where people are always walking, you know. And then they have events that surround, everybody camps down there. I'm sure you've seen it before in the park since you've been in town during a regular year, a non-COVID year. So they were successful. They were able to raise money last year. I want to say it was around 15,000, something like
They
that.
hit their goal.
I know they hit their goal, so it was successful for them, so.
So did you say that for sure they're making it virtual, or is it going to be some of it in person? Has that been just, because I'm looking at their little website and it says a socially distanced safe event. So is some of it going to be in person, or?
It's all,
I don't believe so.
it's all virtual from what they told me yesterday.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
that's what I've heard also. Ellen Bell had her garage sale this last weekend,
Yeah.
where she raised money for her team. And that's what she had relayed to me, was that it was gonna be a virtual event again,
Okay.
so.
I guess me personally, I would say I'm more apt to when it's back in the park. Yeah. Putting something together than a virtual. That's just personal.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, we're donating the screen to them, right? We're letting them use the screen. And I know most of us personally make a donation to the organization. I know
Mhm.
I can't speak for everyone, but a lot of people do just make a donation to the organization, you know.
Some of us
Well,
do.
I was asking because I'm gonna do, I want to do a team. I lost my dad a couple years ago to cancer, and a good friend this past year. And I wanted to do a team for them anyways, but that's why I was asking, like, if putting Moving Milan forward with that too. I don't know. I guess I don't know how the virtual event works. That's why I was just curious. So maybe I should contact Chris and talk to him first and maybe let you know, Josh.
Okay, that's good. That's fine.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
If you were already considering doing it for yourself, then
Yeah, I
That's
am. I just didn't know. I was waiting. I didn't know they had announced that it was going to be virtual yet. So I can I'll ask Chris, like, I guess, talk to him about it and I can let you know, Josh, because I'm going to do a team anyways. So
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. All right, I'm gonna briefly, hopefully do a real quick roundtable as well. Drew, you got anything? Stacy?
There, and we stop.
Joanne, got anything? Holly?
No. Oh, yes, I do actually. So in 2 days, Josh is turning 30. Woohoo! And it's also the Milan Fair fireworks. And whoever would like to come to my house, we're gonna do a potluck style if you want to eat here early. 6:30 ish, 7-ish, whatever. And then fireworks are at 10. So front row seats, my house, if you guys want to come. Party time.
That's Holly, right?
Yes.
Okay, how close are you to the fireworks?
You can't get much closer.
No.
Okay.
Closer. I share the lake.
on the back side of the lake.
You
over
can
here.
actually look out the window where you're at there and you can probably see my house.
You'll
Okay.
probably get hit by
Hey,
falling.
Holly, what do you want us to bring?
Whatever you want.
All right.
It's bring your own food, beer, whatever you want.
Okay.
Michelle, got anything?
I don't have anything.
Amy?
Did Ashley sign off?
Ashley, yeah, I think she did.
I will be working the booth for Compassion at the fair. I won't be able to make it to your party, Josh, sorry.
No worries.
But if you come uptown at some point, I'll buy you a shot if you're not too fall down. Yeah. And I would have loved to have done a beer or a whiskey tour this fall, but I don't know if that's going to be a possibility. So maybe the old Brew Crew team could get back together and hopefully plan something for the spring. Just want to kind of put it out there, plant the seed. That, I mean, I think it's likely we could do one now with the way the restrictions are, and a lot of people are vaccinated anyway. So, but I just don't really know for sure. So maybe I'll reach out to the bus company and see what their restrictions are to start out with. And then we can go from there. Just specifically though, would we want to focus on doing a whiskey one since that's the one we had to can? Or should we go back to breweries?
Whatever.
What's
but,
your feelers?
I mean, if you ask me what I like, then
Yeah, it's obvious.
it's pretty obvious.
So go back to the original.
It's like,
Oh yeah, we're gonna be visiting iced tea. No. Okay, so that's all.
Around the table.
I got nothing.
Snyder,
I have less than that.
Bad Woman.
Well, I'm going to be busy on behalf of the foundation because I'm on the website as being the go-to guy if somebody wants some help with the grant application. I can't write it, but I can hover. and say, no, I don't think so.
Might want to change that.
Yeah, you might want to get rid of 2 of those zeros that's on the right of your 3.
All right.
I got nothing. I'm turning. Yeah, so,
Getting old.
yeah, I'll be promoting a
You just don't
program.
remember anything.
Yeah, I'm hoping to remember something that day,
Yeah.
because I'll be in conference
30's
half the day, so, yeah, other than that, I got nothing, so I hate promoting myself sometimes, so, and you guys all know that, so, yeah. Motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:08.
I motion.
Who?
I'll second.
Second.
I'm gonna stick around though, just so you know.
I'm gonna kill the recording right now.
All in favor?
I.
Any opposed?
So do we still have time, Josh, or whoever